Hello everyone, in this video we're gonna talk about the different choices for SimRacing wheels in dimensions and shapes. So we're gonna see the differences between 320mm wheel, 300mm wheel and 270mm wheel. Well, that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper. Before we go any further, I really wanna bring your attention and set the proper state of mind about racing. Now, I know we love to say that this thing is subjective and this thing is subjective, and we don't give too much attention about the little things, but at the end of the day, racing is about a time, and sometimes a really little amount of time, like in this case.
Michael Shellback on pole, Smolenski in P2, Cheplevsky P3. Now those guys separated by thousandths of a second. That's incredible.
And I can really promise you, in your racing career, there will be a point when that thousandth of a second can be the difference between winning a race or losing a championship. Now, that being said, let's talk now about the actual topic and see what are the actual differences between those different sizes and shapes of the wheels. The first one, we're gonna talk about the 320mm wheel, and I really love to use that size of wheel for touring cars like V8s or TCR cars. The reason is because of the diameter. It smooths a lot the feedback coming from the motor of the direct drive, and I can make a really smooth inputs because of the diameter. And with those cars it's very beneficial because you really have to fight the balance of the car in this class. The next size is gonna be the 300mm wheel, and that is actually the really sweet spot for sim racing. The reason is you can drive open wheel cars with this one, you can drive GT3s, like this wheel is for GT3, or even if you go for another 300mm D-shape or a round wheel, if you wanna drift, this size definitely is the sweet spot. You're gonna have still very smooth feedback, and you will be able also to put some very smooth inputs through your wheel because of the size. And the last one is 270 as this one, or 280, and I really don't suggest to go for that size wheel if you don't have second 300mm wheel. Now this one may be good for some open wheel cars, but the problem is on your driving you're gonna put some really sharp inputs, and that maybe it's okay for open wheel cars, but if you go GT3 or if you go touring cars, it will be a lot more easier to upset the weight transfer and balance with those sharp moves. And the other thing is, because of the size, the feedback is a little bit more sharp, and that is actually not really sweet feeling for driving. You really need to have a little bit more bigger size, and the direct drive will be deliver a really smooth feedback. Now that being said, I really hope you understand that there is some differences when we talk about sizes, and I can promise you 320 is the maximum. It's gonna deliver a really smooth feedback. Also, you will be able to deliver a lot smoother inputs. Then the 300mm wheel is very close to 320 on feeling, very close, and is definitely the sweet spot for all the cars, all the different classes. And when we go to 280 or 270, that is a size that I really don't suggest. And as I explained earlier, the problem with the little size is the feedback is really sharp, it's more cogging, it's more harsh, and it's not that sweet. Also, your inputs are going to be a little bit more sharp and will be a lot more easier to upset your car. Now let's talk about shapes. The shapes can be this shape, round, or cut like this one. And the differences also are, this one is flat, you can see this is flat, and the Porsche one from Fanatec have a little curve inside. So you have to make sure that depending on your button box, it will depends how far will be the shifters. Now if I put this one to this button box, the shifters will be really close and they probably gonna touch. So that's the reason I have that little bit curved wheel. And there is also some button boxes which really need the flat version. Then again, I suggest if you go for single wheel, go for this shape or round one in 300mm. And few good brands are like this one is the Sportline, and you can find this on SSRG website. It's really good quality, and yeah, it's aluminum, very light wheel. Also, you can go for Sparco P300. I don't have it right now, but I used this one for a year. I was super happy. Then Sparco 310 is also really great wheel with also like this shape, but I think it's cut from both sides. Then on 320 you can go for Fanatec. The Porsche one is really good one. I am really happy. I used this one for almost 6 months and almost every day, and the only difference between those two is the actual grip. The Fanatec is a little bit thin and this one is quite really fat grip, which I like more, but that can be subjective. It doesn't really matter and makes no difference for driving, just for comfort point of view. And also you can check Motamec for really good prices, but they struggle a little bit with the availability. The other ones are from OMP, the Quadro, which is also D-shaped 320mm, really nice wheel. So yeah, those are the ones I have used over the years and I can strongly recommend because they are really high quality. Now, that being said, I really hope that video was helpful because I got that question, what is the differences between the different sizes and shapes, and I just decided to make one video and have it out there for all those new people who are coming and are not really sure right now what they have to choose. That being said, see you in the next one, guys. Have a nice day.